Ah, that's certainly a different angle. Right, borderline personality disorder. Why would I need friends? Um, that's the title. Um, and maybe, oh yeah, the camera's there. Let's just stick it there. Um, Today, at the age of 53, for the last 6, 7 months, I've on Facebook become involved in book clubs, specifically a Stephen King book club on Facebook and a Discworld uh, discussion group on Facebook called Unseen University after the University of Magic in the Discworld novels. And through these Facebook groups, I take part. I add comments to posts that I am interested in, and I add my comment in my way, my style, my sense of humour. And over the last few months, I see little icons that come up next to my name. One is a coffee cup, and that says I have started some of the most popular conversations in the last month. And it comes as a surprise to me. One of the other icons is like a posh calligraphy pen. You've got the nib outline with the pen outline, and that icon means I'm a valued responder. The comments I add to conversations generate a lot of interest and responses. And certainly over the last few weeks, for me, I have found bing, 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 what on earth have I done on Facebook? And people like stuff that I comment on, book stuff, books about Stephen King, books that Stephen King write, horror books. We have discussions on books and book characters, and especially with the Discworld group, we are all in on the same uh, geeky in jokes. Squeak, ook, millennium, bugger and shrimp. Don't mention the duck. There is no duck. Duckman does not have a duck on his head. We're all into the same jokes, the same humour. I found people who listen to me and value what I say. I've never had that before in real life. Uh, the last, before the year 2000, I had a life and I had a very successful, very professional career, which I walked away from in the year 2000, and then a few months later was found hanging from scaffolding. You need context. Yes, how I speak is blunt and it can be uncomfortable for people. I'm not adding a trigger warning to these videos. They are labeled borderline personality disorder. If there's anything in here that comes as a surprise to anyone reading it, why are you watching my stuff? If you're reading about borderline personality disorder, you should be aware of the issues involved. In my poetry, I will put trigger warnings because that is poetry and it is art. This is therapy for me, and if other people watch this and find it helpful, or if people are just entertained, or if people watch and then switch off because I'm boring, that's all fine. But none of anything I do here requires me to add a trigger warning. So am I speaking honestly about my acts, my thoughts and reasoning for doing the things I've done? Maybe you should turn off now and watch someone else's videos. I'm not going to give you fairy stories. I ain't going to dress things up in ribbons and bows to make it look pretty. I prefer blunt. I prefer to show you the reality and not describe the sense of the reality. You make up your own mind as to which you prefer. If you don't like watching these stuff, don't watch them. This is for my therapy. That's why I do it. Why I have 6 subscribers, I haven't got a clue. I haven't got anything important or of value to say. And with some of my videos, yeah, I've not had thousands of views. No one knows me. The fact that some of my videos have been watched is a surprise. It isn't that I advertise it. So people find my stuff by accident. I'm a nobody. I ain't famous. So you can't go and look for me because I don't exist. People find me by accident and people are either watching or switching off. It makes no difference to me because this is about me and my therapy and my expression. In Facebook group, I have found friends that I can have conversations with about subjects that I care about enough to get engaged in conversations. I've never had that in real life. I've never had friends that share my interests. I've tried to share theirs. Look, as much as I try to get into football, I'm just not interested in sport. It's not that I'm unpatriotic, it's just that I don't see any. Sport means nothing to me. It's important to other people, I get that, and other people are welcome to their sport. And I have spent my whole life trying to take on other people's interests in an attempt to be social. Why? All my life I've been told you're antisocial because you don't make friends. Why do people feel the need to say that to me? It's taken me, I'm 53 years old. 3 weeks ago I put a noose around my neck and just swung because I didn't care. Right? I am a loner. I have always been a loner. And you know what? There isn't anything wrong with loners. I've never been antisocial. I've been more comfortable reading books. My books don't call me names. My books don't judge me. My books don't bully me. So I'm happy as a loner, and I always have been. The friends I've tried to make in real life, amongst the people I've just encountered through living, we've never had any connection, and people have seen me and feel this terrible need. Oh, he's got no friends. We must befriend him. We must show him that friends are important. Right. You've shown me that friends cause more stress. You've shown me that friends Well, I can have friends on your terms. Okay. It leaves me confused as to what friends are. At work, you say you're my friend, but here we are at home, and I wouldn't consider imposing on you to ask you to visit me because it would be inappropriate. We ain't friends, we work together. I am not antisocial. I am comfortable and I feel safe in my own company. My local newsagent is one of 4 people who has known me these last 20 years. And whilst I was ill a few weeks ago, he shouted at me, chasing me out of his shop, shouting at me, "Go get a job." He knows that last month I got a new job. He knows I got the contract. He knows I had the start date, and he knows that I was going there to present documents to prove I have the right to work. And on the way to doing that, I tripped over a curb and smacked my head. Turned up at my new place of work with blood pouring down my face and almost passed out because I did not know how badly I had injured myself. This friend who has known me for 20 years knew all of that, and yet he shouted at me, scaring me out of his shop, chasing me out of his shop, "Go and get a job." Fine. He thinks I should respect him. He's wrong. We're done. He is irrelevant. It is plain to me that for the last 20 years he has looked at me and hasn't seen an equal, hasn't seen a human being. He has always looked at me as something unpleasant he stepped in. I get that. And he's entitled to keep those views. Tonight I had round a friend, I got a social circle of 4. The newsagent was one of them. He's gone. Social circle of 3. And one of those 3 was round tonight. A friend who has always had anger issues. And whilst he visits me as a guest in my home, in order to make himself feel comfortable, he has spent the last 20 years shouting at me, telling me what to do in my own home. "Sit down, go smoke at the window. Don't smoke tobacco, it's a poison, give it up. This is not how you breathe. Don't you know how to meditate? Let me educate you." Because he thinks he's better than me and he thinks I'm an idiot. I get that. Tells me I drink too much, as if it's any of his business. But I haven't said anything. Just a few short weeks ago, he spent 20 minutes shouting at me, trying to teach me how to breathe, as if I'm so ignorant that I don't know how to breathe. And I had to sit there and put my hand up, my finger. And when he eventually stopped shouting because he'd run out of breath, What do you want?" "Can I please go and get my drink of water up from the windowsill?" "Yes, of course, go get it." He has made me feel fear and at risk of violence in my own home. Tonight he came to visit and I was different. I restrained from winding him up. As soon as I could see that every time I said something he's getting angry at, I'd shut up and say, "Go you go. But I wouldn't. He does have a habit of saying, "You didn't say that. You never said that. It must have been someone else." Excuse me. I said this 10 minutes ago to you in this room. Now, usually I would keep my mouth shut. It ain't worth the effort. But new gym, new rules. You ain't gonna get away with what you want to believe happened. Okay? We are both here in the same room. I know what I said. I know when I said it. And though I may not be able to recall it word for word, I certainly know exactly, precisely the fundamentals of what I said. So don't dare turn around to me and saying, "It wasn't me you told it to, you must have told it to someone else on another day." You don't mess with my head like that, because you can't. I know you like to think I'm in the wrong. I know you like to think you're superior and in control, and you're always so negative, Jim. Why can't you be positive? I understand you have your arrogance. There's the camera. Look, I'm not antisocial. I really ain't. But friends just cause stress and make unreasonable demands. I think they're unreasonable. And I've spent all my life scared to tell my friends, don't call me names, don't laugh at my stutter, don't bully me, because I was scared of losing friends, because everyone tells me I should have friends. I'm antisocial if I don't have friends. And because I don't have many friends, I've always been scared of losing friends. So I've always kept my mouth shut and put up with how other people treat me. Right. Yeah, I have a borderline personality disorder. I have depression. I have other illnesses that go with that. I am fine being a loner. I do get lonely sometimes, but hey, I have alcohol. That's how I deal with that. Yeah, I will get depressed. I will cry. But I will wake up the next day and get on with my life. Lonely and not having friends ain't the same thing at all. I have friends who detest me and see me as an idiot. You ain't friends. You're the only social circle I got. But you ain't important and I don't need you. Especially ones who want their friendship, our friendship, on their terms only. You're going to start treating me as an equal. This is a two-way thing, or you can leave. I don't need you. I do not need friends. When I go on Facebook and go into my Discworld Club or Stephen King Book Club, I have people who share the same interests as me. I have friends I can talk to in a language we all share, and we are united. We are drawn together by our mutual interest in the books we read and we enjoy. I don't need friends in the real world. I have friends on Facebook who understand me and like my contributions to their conversations. And sometimes those conversations can become quite involved and quite lengthy, especially in Discworld. I find that I do have a really good sense of humour when I write. Some people are at first taken aback, but people more familiar with me can't help but laugh and get the joke. because they know I refuse to be serious. I've only been serious in that group once, and that was to share my my family, and why I am reading The Gunslinger and why this book. That's the only time in the Discworld Book Club they've known me to be serious, and some of them even cried. I have friends and I have family because we share a mutual interest. I don't need friends. Borderline personality disorder or not, depressed or not, I am not antisocial. I am happy in my own company, and I certainly feel safer in my own company. But to answer the question I started with, nah, I don't need those kind of friends. At 20, that's good. Keep meditating and keep pushing forward. Keep going with the flow. Wherever you're stuck, if you're stuck in quicksand, struggling, you're just going to drown faster. When you're really depressed and stuck in those ruts, sometimes all you can do is ride it through till the end. There is no digging your way out. Sometimes there is no making it shorter. Sometimes, like me, you have to engage very seriously in role play exercises. I put a noose round my neck, a reenactment of a scene from Shawshank Redemption, quite literally. Yes, I was lost, I was confused, but through what I did, I learned a lot about myself, and I am so much stronger than ever. I doubted myself because everyone around me was shouting at me, "You're ill, you're ill, you're ill, you're ill," and I nearly believed them. There ain't nothing wrong with me except the stress of everyday life, and we all share that. We just deal with it in different ways. If you meditate, happy meditating, and every success to you. We're from the deepest, I don't even know if I have a heart, but with all sincerity, love, peace, and healing to everyone. I don't know anyone personally enough to be that angry to hate anyone. I've learned how to, no one matters. Happy meditating, peace and love to everyone.